here. See, we got some folks online too. So my name is Ryan Flaco Rising, and I am a PhD student in the criminology law and society. And so I've developed this workshop in my role as a formerly incarcerated system impacted peer educator to just teach folks how to get to the PhD. And so last workshop, we had the curriculum vitae. Do any of y'all know what a curriculum vitae is? Okay, that's your academic resume. It's a very important piece to the grad application. So what I'll do is I have your emails right there. I'll send you guys the curriculum vitae. And then for the folks online, if you guys would please sign in for me, this would help me so that I could send you guys the information too. Let me know when you sign in that you would like the curriculum. I'll send the curriculum vitae stuff over again. But the curriculum vitae is your academic resume. It's everything that you're doing in your academic journey. Are you all first year, or where are you guys all at in your guys' educational journey right now? Third year? Okay. So you've gotten a lot done. I would say, like, you've been to some conferences, you've probably done a little bit of speaking or presentations. All of that goes on your curriculum vitae. And so that showcases your community service, that showcases multiple aspects of your educational journey. So that piece right there, I'll send you guys the template. I'll send you guys the video of how to create that curriculum vitae. And then from there, if you have any questions, feel free to even send your curriculum vitae over to me, and I'll help you give some suggested edits. I'll also give you guys a glimpse at one of my curriculum vitae and all the stuff that's on it, and feel free to mimic that as well as you guys put that piece together. Cool? Who's all going to grad school here? There's no hopefully about it. You guys are going to go to grad school for sure. So who's all going to go to grad school? All of you guys are here because you're going to go, right? All right, cool. So let's get started. Everyone online, if you please would sign in, that would be highly appreciated. If anything, just throw your email in the chat. So today I'm going to go over the personal statement and crafting a personal statement. This is the second important piece of your grad application. So your curriculum vitae, this showcases all your work. It showcases all the things that you did in your academic journey. Even in high school, there was things going on in high school, scholarships that were won in high school. These things all go on your curriculum vitae, this academic resume. But now you're developing your personal statement. And the way I like to put out the personal statement, this is your time to, like, articulate yourself and shine. This is your time to brag. This is your time to, like, showcase to this academic committee that's looking at your application and deciding whether you are the candidate for the job. So you want to make yourself look very appealing in this piece right here. Cool. So the importance of a personal statement. The personal statement becomes a platform to narrate your story, weaving together the academic and professional threads into a cohesive and compelling narrative. So this is your chance to share about you as your journey through academia, through high school, through college. If you have a few years already here, all that goes into this piece of your personal statement. So you want to introduce yourself beyond your resume. So this is your opportunity to shine. It's your opportunity to showcase not only your qualifications, but also the qualities that make them a valuable and distinctive addition to the academic community. So I'm going to go through it. Overview of the graduate school personal statement, key components, do's and don'ts, examples and tips, questions and answers. I also passed out, which for the folks online, I'll actually send you guys this via email. I also gave you a whole overview right here. So if you guys want to take a look at that, this pretty much is the template. This is how you're going to build this personal statement document for your graduate application. And so it has everything in it step by step. So it kind of just guides you through that. And then also, it gives you additional things, and then it looks like there's a piece that's missing in this one, but yeah, they might be missing in some of them. But I'll send it, I'll email it out, so it looks like there's a missing piece. And there will be a template on one of them. Go ahead. Oh, okay, they can't hear? Dang. All right, let me see. Okay. I apologize. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. They can hear now. All right. Yeah, I don't want that echoing and all that. Yeah. All right, cool. So I just pretty much broke down the personal statement and its importance, and also please send me your email. I'm gonna go over the curriculum vitae and send over the video from the last workshop. And so the curriculum vitae is your academic resume, and I'll send over the video of that one too to help you all. So there's 4 important pieces to a graduate application. You got your curriculum vitae, you got your personal statement, you got your statement of purpose, and you got your writing sample. This is pretty much what each grad application looks like. Some are different. Anybody want to go to law school here? No? Okay. Well, law school is a little different, but it's pretty much the same throughout. Plus, some of the grad programs will ask for GRE or the LSAT. LSAT's usually for like JD, so LSAT's another test that you may have to take. But the program will be very distinctive of the components and the pieces that they want to see from you. But most of them will have, some of them will have a diversity statement. So and that's pretty much like a personal statement talking about the diverse cultures you've experienced in your journey and where you come from. And so the diversity statement's another one that they ask for too. But those are pretty much the predominant 4, is that CV, personal statement, statement of purpose, and writing sample. Writing sample, usually they say they'll read up to 15 pages, but you can put in a 20-page, 25-page academic piece, but they'll read up to 15 pages. So you really want to showcase your writing, and that's your chance to showcase your writing. And I'm going to go through all those. So this is the personal statement that I'm going through. The next workshop in this series is going to be the statement of purpose, and I'm gonna coach you all on how to write a strong, compelling statement of purpose. And then I'm gonna go through the writing sample, and I'm gonna talk about that writing sample, and also just to show that research center, to have that research piece within your writing sample to showcase that you have some knowledge around how to conduct research. And I'll go through that as well. But today is the personal statement. So, what is a personal statement? The personal statement is a written document that serves as a reflective and narrative component of a graduate school application. The role in the graduate school application, its primary function is to offer the admissions committee a deeper understanding of the applicant's character, motivations, and qualifications. Distinction from other application materials. This offers a personalized account of your journey, revealing your values, your experiences, and the intrinsic factors driving your pursuit of graduate education. Importance of a personal statement. The personal statement provides insight into your personality, experiences, and goals, highlights your unique qualities, and demonstrates your writing and communication skills. So like I said, this is your time to really brag about your accomplishment, brag about the adversity that you've overcome, your lived experience. And I emphasize that your lived experience is important. Your lived experience helps us theorize the world. And so one thing that, you know, I've learned through my journey and the academy, through my journey in higher ed, is they're trying to produce problem solvers. That's it. That's all they want us to showcase, that we can problem solve. So if we showcase the adversity that we've gone through to get us to this moment where we're applying for this grad program, on top of all the awards and all the things that we've achieved throughout that journey of adversity, that lived experience it's imperative. So I want to encourage you all in your personal statement, showcase some adversity, showcase things, obstacles that you've had to overcome, because they want to see that. They want to know that you never quit, that you never gave up, that you always showed up for the job. No matter how hard life was getting and how hard the road was around you, you still came and showed up to your commitments. So that's an important piece of the personal statement. So you want to understand your audience and tone. So when I learned about like applying to grad school, I learned in McNair Scholars, you want to study the department you're applying for. You want to study them. You want to look up the faculty. You want to look at their research interests. You really want to understand this audience that you're applying to. So I encourage you all to do your research. And I encourage you all to, what I did was I got an Excel worksheet and I put in this Excel worksheet 10 colleges, 10 departments that I wanted to apply to. And I put all of them in there. Then I put when their application was due. I put the email to the person that's the contact from the grad division. I put them in there. I put their email in there. I put 3 faculty members that had research interests that I align with. Now that was important. And the reason why I put their emails in there, because I'm going to tell you all some of my tricks that got me, and I got accepted to Harvard. I got accepted to UC Irvine. So I got accepted to some really big schools for a graduate program straight out of my bachelor's degree. And this was my blueprint to success. And, you know, I can almost guarantee it'll work for you all too. But the reason why you want to align yourself, because in your statement of purpose, you're going to showcase who you want to work with, whose research aligns with. But there's one thing that I did that really I think was helpful and made me stand out as a candidate. I wrote everyone an email in the department and I introduced myself. I introduced who I was. I introduced my research interests. And then those 3 people that I identified that had matching research interests or that were doing research along the lines of the research I wanted to do, I went a step further with them. I told them, I want to work with you. And I said, do you have access for me to be mentored by you? And I started to establish these relationships before I even got to applying to that grad department. So I encourage you all, you guys are not maybe at that point where you're going to apply for grad school. I encourage you to identify the departments that you want to go to. If it's sticking around here, start to develop those relationships. Because I'm going to tell you, the grad program that you apply to, there's going to be 4 to 5 committee members that are going to be sitting in a room making that decision. They're the hiring committee. You're not going to know who those people are. So if you make that introduction, you might have already made that introduction to the committee members, and they're going to remember you, because a lot of people aren't taking that extra step to make that introduction. So I encourage you guys right now to identify the schools you want to apply to. If you're serious about grad school, you want to get busy with it right now. Don't last minute this. Start to develop your relationships in those departments. Start to really study. Is this the place where I want to spend the next 5 years of my life? Because that's what you're dedicating 5 years of your life to research, to growing with this department, with this faculty. So really start now to figure all that out and identify 10 schools. For me, it's law of averages. If I apply to 10, 2 to 5 that if I'm lucky are going to say yes, you know, 1 might say yes on 10, right? You know, but you have to identify those 10 first and start to like reach out, right? So when crafting your personal statement for graduate school, it's crucial to have a deep understanding of your audience. So that's the way you're able to get a visual on who your audience is. The admissions committee is going to be your audience. These individuals are seasoned professionals, academics, or experts in their respective fields. They're tasked with evaluating numerous applications, seeking candidates who not only meet academic criteria, but also bring unique perspectives and qualities to the academic community. This is an important part. This piece right here, where you're bringing this unique perspective and this unique quality to the academic community. What are you bringing into this academic community that's going to enhance it as a graduate student? And so that's where you want to distinguish your qualities and your expertise and your experiences to that right there. That's where you want to brag. I did this. I accomplished this. I got this scholarship, that scholarship. I did all this and that. But you only have a 2-page time, you know what I'm saying? It's about 1,000 words, I think 1,500 max. So you really want to learn how to concisely speak all this about yourself. And then you want to maintain a professional, but you want to carry on with a personal tone as well. Does anybody have any questions so far? How about online? You guys have any questions? Cool. So I want you to consider the following aspects when addressing the admissions committee. Expertise. Assume that the committee members have a strong background in your field. While you can use discipline-specific terminology, ensure clarity for those who may not be experts in your specific area. Expectations. Understand the criteria and values important to the specific graduate program. This is why it's important to do your research. This is why it's important to look up the graduate program that you're applying to and study even the past events that they've had. Look at the events that they've hosted. That gives you kind of like a view of what the conversations are being had within this department. Tailor your personal statement to align with these expectations, demonstrating how your goals and values align with the program's mission. So you want to showcase, after you do this research, how your goals and your values align with what this department is already doing. So it's a strategy. It's like a chess game. So your personal statement, and you're not going to have a general personal statement. Your personal statement will change with every department. It's not going to be the same. You're going to want to make some little changes in there that really make you stand out as the candidate for that department. So a holistic view, the committee seeks candidates who not only excel academically, but also contribute positively to the academic community. Present a well-rounded image by emphasizing your personal and professional qualities. So I did a lot of community service. And when I was in my bachelor's degree, I was out in the community. I was going and talking here. I was going to universities and hosting talks, conversations. I was helping folks sign up for college, but all this was being documented. And so what I tell undergraduates, you want to leave footprints. These footprints they're very important. You want to have links to your work. And you guys are really good with social media. So what I say is I built my whole CV on Facebook. I got a link to everything that I ever went and did. So I can use that link and insert it into my CV. But I can also talk about some of this work that's been, documented by the media, that's been documented, like articles have come out, like they've come and they were looking at all the work that we were doing as we were establishing these programs to support formerly incarcerated students. So these things are footprints. So you want to make sure that you're leaving footprints in everything that you do, whether it be you're going and doing a feed at the local outreach center for houseless individuals, like whatever it may be, you want to create a footprint. And so I use Facebook to create my footprint. And so Facebook's become like my CV. And so a CV it's different than like a normal resume. A normal resume is like 1 page. A CV could be 28, 30 pages, 40 pages. There's professors that have 50, 60 page CVs. So everything that you're doing in this journey, it goes on there. There's a title, there's a heading for it, and you'll see that when you start to develop the CV. But this is what you want to showcase in here. You want to showcase that you go above and beyond. That it's not just showing up to your classes and putting in your work, you know, that you go above and beyond for your community. So your academic community, how you support that academic community. Cool. So this is important inside this professional personal statement. You want to maintain that professional yet personal tone. Balancing professionalism with the personal touch is a delicate yet essential aspect of crafting an effective personal statement. So you want to make this personal, but you want to keep it professional. But it's important to showcase your personal lived experience. That lived experience is key. And that's kind of what got me into the sociology department at Harvard, and why they accepted me was because of my personal, but my professional tone that I had inside. I had my lived experience. I showcased the adversity that I overcame. I showcased all the work that I did in the community and all the work I did in my bachelor's degree, creating a whole program from the ground floor up. I showcased all that. But at the same time, I also showcased that professional development that I went through and where I was at in my professional development as well. So formal language, use formal language and proper grammar, keep out the slang. And for me, that was hard, like to showcase your personal side and then showcase your professional side, but you have two pages, you know what I'm saying? Usually that's what they call for. Some will allow you to do 2.5 pages. Some will call for 1.5 pages. They don't want to read, they don't want to sit there and read a ton of these. So you just have to look, each grad department is different. Showcase your personality. Showcase that personality. That's important. And there's, you know, there's ways to do that in this personal statement. And then storytelling. Share like a story. Share something that you know, like my sociological imagination came to life when I took my first methods class in sociology. I was totally floored as I understood the methodology that was being given to me by this radical professor named William Robinson. There, that's the start of a badass personal statement to get into a sociology department. And then now they're like, oh man, William Robinson, he's famous. Like he was in his class. Oh, he got some good training there. Like, so these are the ways you're gonna open up your personal statement and craft it. That storytelling. Where did you learn about yourself? What class was it that opened up your mind to understand your journey? Express that. Share that in like a nice 2-3 sentences. Cool. Following these guidelines to strike the right tone, avoiding cliches, be original in your expression, avoid overused phrases or cliches. Some of us are using AI now. AI is notorious for like repetitiveness. So if you recognize that you're running your stuff through AI, it's good, whatever, but you want to make sure that it's not repetitive. You want to make sure that it's not it's flowing right and it's not giving you a repetitive and repeating itself, because that's what I've recognized with folks that use AI to you know, get their stuff professional sounding. Demonstrating passion, convey your passion for your chosen field. Why do you want to be in this field? Why are you passionate about this work? Where did it come from in your life? Was there an experience in your life? Was it some lived experiences? Is it something that, you know, you saw as a kid that you want to research this and figure out solutions to it? You know, whatever your research interest may be, you want to express why you're passionate about those research interests. Remember, a personal statement is an opportunity to showcase both your professionalism and your unique qualities. It should leave a lasting impression on the admissions committee, emphasizing not only your qualifications, but also the person behind the achievement. So key components. So I'm gonna break this paper down that I gave you guys, and for those who are online, I'm gonna send this out to you all, so you all will get this. So the key components that are gonna be in this personal statement. Introduction. You wanna grab the reader's attention. So like the verse that I just gave you guys, my sociological imagination came to life in my first methods class. Something that's like a hook, that's like a grab, right? And then from there, lived experience, or academic background, right? So begin with the compelling opening statement that grabs the reader's attention and introduces yourself. And you want to think this through because this is your hook. This is where you're hooking this committee into so you want to outdo everyone you're competing against. Because trust, you're competing about 200, maybe 156 applicants. So this committee has to go through 156. So you want to make sure that you stand out over all 156. And trust, some of you all are thinking the same. So some of you all are using Grammarly and Grammarly's kind of, putting in some of the same verbiage. So you want to make sure you stand out differently. You want your hook lines to really grab them. You want to showcase through each paragraph that you have an strong opening statement and a strong closing statement that's bringing you straight into your next paragraph. And your statements in between are backing up your opening statement. It's just like writing research, but now you're showcasing yourself. It's your autoethnographic research in a lot of different ways. That's your personal statement. So explain your motivation for applying to the graduate program and briefly outline your academic and professional background. This is your introduction. Academic background, your educational background. Brief overview of academic achievements. Who's gotten scholarships in? Yeah, what scholarships did you receive?
One's called like Phi Theta Kappa. I think that's like a scholarship, like community. I got it from my community college.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a good one right there. Talk about that. That's something you want to showcase. You're showcasing that people are investing in your education already. So that's important. Any other scholarships? Okay, how about awards? Who's gotten some awards? Yeah, what?
You know the Chancellor's Award?
That's huge. The Chancellor's Award's a huge award. You want to put that in there. You want to showcase that the school was investing in you already. The Chancellor's Award, that you were a distinguished student that stood out amongst your scholar cohort. Any other awards? Things you've done in your community. Community service. Who's done community service? Okay, you want to highlight that stuff. So you really want to dig deep and really look at your journey through school. Who's planted trees for their school? Even in your elementary, your middle school, your whole journey counts. Everything's your whole academic journey. There's stuff that you may have done or accomplished throughout that. Maybe it was a high test that you scored really high. You want to say these things. You want to figure out how to put these things and intertwine them into your personal statement. Professional experience. I'm sure you all have had plenty of professional development throughout your journey. Talk about that professional experience. Detail any relevant work experience, internships. Is anybody having to do internships through their degree right here? Talk about that internship. Talk about something that you learned about research in that internship. Remember, they want to see your understanding and comprehension of research. So our theory, talk about theory, talk about maybe a theory that you read and in your internship you saw that real life praxis of that theory being carried out. Then you want to go into your research interests. Your research interests and your goals. Clearly articulate your research interests. This is important. Going into a grad program, you're going to be doing research. You're gonna be doing hands-on research. You're gonna be writing a research thesis. You'll write a couple of theses. You'll write a master's thesis. So with the PhD program, not all of them are like this, but I encourage you all to go to a PhD program that's a dual program that gives you a master's degree option on the way to your PhD. So you'll get your master's degree first. That's what I got right here at UC Irvine. So I'm getting my master's degree this year. So I wrote like I have like a 246 page thesis that I wrote, and it's around formerly incarcerated student programs in higher ed. And I'm doing an analysis of all the formerly incarcerated student programs that exist in the United States at the university level. And so you want to talk about your research understanding and your research interests and your research goals. A PhD, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing research, hands-on research. They're going to give you the tools to understand how to go out and carry out research successfully. So you want to showcase your understanding of it, but also you want to showcase like you have a research agenda. Build a 5-year agenda. Have a 5-year plan. You don't want to put inside your personal statement or your statement of purpose that you're still trying to figure. You want to have a plan. You want to have some sort of research goal that you're trying to accomplish. You want to have or showcase a question that you already have that you're trying to answer in your research agenda. I encourage you to do this because that's what's going to make you more attractive in your application over everyone else around you. Have this agenda set up, and it can change. When you get into grad school, it may change. A lot of people's research agenda changes drastically in grad school. So it doesn't need to be set in stone, but what you're trying to show this committee is I have a vision. I have a plan. I don't need to be having my hand held at all. I'm coming in with this plan, and this is what it's going to look like as I carry out my plan. This is my plan. Cool. Any questions so far? Anything coming up for anybody? So so you got your goals and objectives, articulate your short-term and long-term career goals, and explain how obtaining a graduate degree will help you achieve them. I want to be a professor, so I want to teach. And that's why it's important for me to get my PhD and go through a grad program. So I express that. I want to be a teacher. I want to teach criminology from the lens of a formerly incarcerated professor. And so I articulated that in like a brief sentence of this is my long-term goal. Discuss how the program's resources and opportunities will support your professional development. With the sociology department in Harvard, one of the top rated. So I really highlighted that. And also we use here my criminology. It's the #1 criminology department in the entire world. So I highlighted that. I highlighted that I'm going to get the proper training. You guys have the professors that align with my research goals and my research agenda, and I'm going to get their training. I'm going to get that exposure and that influence from them. Highlight that, point them out. And then why this program? Explain why you are interested in this particular graduate program and what sets it apart from others. Discuss specific faculty members, courses, or research opportunities that appeal to you and how they align with your academic and career goals. This is important. You really want to point out a faculty person, or you really want to study the curriculum that you're going to go through and point out 2 or 1 class. You're already showing that you're doing research. So you're showing that you're already researching them, that you've done your homework on this department, that you're just not just applying impulsively or applying because you have a faculty mentor that's telling you to apply, or you're in a program. A lot of people that apply to grad school, they're just in like right here, I think they have UROC. I think they have McNair Scholars for the Sciences here. I don't know, are you guys a part of any of those So they have programs, and that's kind of like, to be a part of the program, you have to apply to grad school. They're like, it's like graduate preparation in a way. So a lot of folks that are applying, they really are just trying to go through the motions to apply to some of these programs, just because it's something they have to carry out with the program they're in. And they can feel that, they can see that through your writings. So then you have your closing statement. Your closing statement, summarize your key points and reiterate your enthusiasm for the program. Express gratitude for the opportunity to apply and convey your readiness to contribute positively to the academic community. For me, my conclusion was research, and that's what I'm passionate about, conducting and carrying out research and becoming a professor. Really highlight like that end goal. This department, if I'm chosen to become a student within this graduate program, I'm going to carry out successful research that's going to be very innovative and create solutions for some of the pressing problems that I'm researching. And at the end, it's going to open me up to become that formerly incarcerated professor leading a criminology class in an R1 institution. Man, cool little closing, but you have your goals in there. You have what you're going to achieve going to this school. So this is your time to paint yourself to this committee. You're painting this picture of yourself. So a couple additional tips: keep your statement concise and focused. It says typically 500 to 800 words, but some of these call for 1,000 to 1,500. I always encourage students, if they call for 1,500, write 1,500 words. Give them that 1,500. Don't give them something like 800 or super concise. If they say you have an opportunity to write a personal statement at 2,000 words, I encourage you to write the whole 2,000 words. Maybe a little bit less, but definitely want to take up all that word count that they give you. So do's and don'ts. Be authentic and genuine. Tailor that statement to each program. And this is kind of just being a little bit repetitive right now. You want to tailor it to each program. You want to do your research on that program. You want to study the layout of that program. 3 things I looked at: events that they've done, awards that they've given their faculty. I looked at those awards closely. And I also looked at the most recent published work out of that department. And what I did was I grabbed 2 that interested me and I read the findings. And so I had the findings in my mind already. So I read the findings and was like, oh, let me kind of, gauge my personal statement to some of the findings that they've figured out and produced. Tailor the statement to each program, showcase your strengths and unique qualities, seek feedback from mentors or peers. So I'm going to tell you guys just like this: get it revised like 4 times. Give it to 4 different people. Get everyone's view on it. Get that revision. I'm big on revision. Don't be afraid of revision. I like my stuff to be tore up. Like, I got a professor right now, like I write and write and write, and then I love it to just be tore apart. Like, I love it. It just enhances my writing. It enhances me to look at my work a little bit more critically before to get to the level where you're writing academic pieces that are being published in top journals. You're going to have to learn to revise again. And trust, no piece is ever finished. Your piece will always be changed. And then the beauty of this personal statement, once you get into a grad program, that's your personal statement for fellowships. There you go. You're set up for your NIJ. You're set up for your Ford. You can apply to fellowships with this personal statement. So you're setting yourself up for success by really getting this piece like to its like it's not gonna be ever finished because life is gonna continue to happen. You're gonna continue to grow in your academic journey. But you have something that's a platform that you can move around to different opportunities. Don't use cliches, generic statements, exaggerate or make false claims. Focus solely on weaknesses or failures. I point that out because you want to showcase that you can take critique and that you critique yourself too. You could point out some of your failures, some of the things that you've gone through in your journey that you've overcome. I mean, that's just life, you know, you gotta take the F, you know, you gotta fail, you know. That's the, like, one thing that one of my good friends said is, you gotta learn to lose in order to learn how to win. So you gotta take the L's, you gotta take those losses, but you gotta articulate that a little bit too, showcase how you overcame that failure. You know, maybe you weren't good at math, maybe you failed your first statistics class. Something I put in there, I failed algebra. So when I was going to community college, who went through community college right here? All right, cool. So when I went through community college, they used to have this math requirement where you had to test into your math. It was in 2015. So you had to test into the math that you were going to be in. And then from there, you could climb to the math that would get you to be able to apply to the UC or the CSU. I went in, I tested in the lowest. So I had to climb from the lowest math all the way up to stats because I wanted to go for sociology. I got through fractions, got through it, got to algebra. As soon as they put variables with numbers, as soon as they put, you know, like I'm gone. I'm like, A does not equal X and then 15. Like, I don't get it, right? So I got lost. I failed algebra 3 times. 3 times. But I didn't give up. So if you fail 2 times in your community college, they make you go to another community college to take math. You can't keep going through algebra. So I literally had to go to another college. And the guy I met there, the professor, and I share the story with you because I was like, man, I gotta get this math. I want to win, you know, I want to get through this. And so I'm walking to class, and all of a sudden there's like a professor walking up, and he's an older guy. And so I was like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? Doing good. He's like, how about yourself? And then we started talking, and I'm just walking to my class. Yeah, I'm headed to my math class. Oh yeah, I'm teaching math this semester. And I'm like, oh really? And I was like, what? I was like, yeah. And I started telling my story now. Now I'm like, well, I failed and I'm just struggling with algebra. And he's like, really, I'm teaching algebra. And I was like, I was, oh my God, you're my professor. I was like, yeah, man, I struggled with it. Damn, I'm like trying, I'm going to be dedicated. I showed up every day early. I went to his office hours and I failed all my tests. Like, I was no good at algebra. I just couldn't comprehend it correctly. And finally he sat me down and we went through a bunch of different things on his board. And then I ended up with the C. I don't know, but I got through algebra, you know what I'm saying? But when I got to statistics was a whole different trip. I got an A and a B, and boom, I was on my way applying to Berkeley and all of them. And I got into Berkeley, and USD gave me the Circle of Excellence scholarship, and I got all these offers, right? But that I could have quit at math, but that's a great story to share in your personal statement. You got to showcase how you overcame your failures. And so in my personal statement, I kind of touched on that, how I just couldn't really comprehend algebra, but I kept showing up and I ended up winning it in the end with a C, you know, but at the end of the day, like, I got through it. So before and after, so tips for effective writing: use correct examples, show, don't tell. I say that, show, don't tell, really paint that picture, revise and edit multiple times. And I encourage you to do that on everything that you've ever written, and keep everything that you write. Like, I have like 7 emails. The docs fill up. I don't feel like buying more gigabytes. So I just open a new email and fill that docs up over there. I encourage you guys to write as much as possible. And one thing that I did in my first personal statement, I don't know what your guys' writing, what you guys do to like enhance your writing. I don't write with periods and commas. I just write. So in my personal statement, I just dumped my whole story. And then from there is when I start to like put in the periods and commas and I start to like shape it and pull up the sentences that pop and start to play with it in my second round of edit. But I just write. I don't think about stopping for a comma. I don't think about it. I just write out everything and then go back. And also don't worry about the word limit the first time. Remember, you're gonna concise this. So I encourage you to write. If it's calling for 1,500, I encourage you to write 3,000 words. If it's calling for 1,000, I encourage you to write 2,000 words. Because you're gonna get stuff that you're just gonna move up. You're gonna move up here. You're gonna start to play with it. And you're gonna start to move those sentences into place. And you're gonna start to craft it out into that beautiful picture of yourself, your personal statement. So common mistakes to avoid: overloading with technical jargon. Don't try to sound all, doctorish or any of that, really just try to sound as professional but authentic as possible. Being too vague or generic, don't be so vague. Really dive into your personal self. Really dive in to showcase your personality, to showcase your understanding, to showcase yourself. So really dive in. And ignoring the importance of structure and coherence, don't make that mistake. Really have that structure. And if they call for 1,500 words, don't go over the word limit. So I encourage you not to go over the word limit on your final piece. Always have what they ask for or a little bit under. Don't have, if it's calling for 1,500, I encourage you not to have 500 words. I encourage you to are 800 words. Like I encourage you to give them that word, really dig into yourself and really explain yourself. So the personal statement is one piece of your grad application that's very, very important. So I encourage you all to really start off, even if you're not at the stage of writing a personal statement and applying for graduate school next year, start off by writing your bio. Write your biography. Really learn about your journey. Learn about certain stories in your journey that have made you really focus on school and really focus on the goals that you have on going to graduate school. So I encourage you as an exercise, if you're not at the point where you're about to apply, write your biography. Share that biography with friends and really get that biography written out. And then when you get in your personal statement, it makes it a lot easier just to move words over and move sentences over and move paragraphs over. So the personal statement is one piece of your grad app. The first one, like I said, I went over last workshop was the curriculum vitae, which for the new folks, I'm going to get that out to you. The personal statement, we just covered that today. The third piece is your statement of purpose. I'm going to go over that in the next workshop, and I'll break down the statement of purpose. I'll give you guys another template, and you could see in the template that I gave you guys, I even have a little breakdown. I have like a template of a personal statement for a sociology graduate program. And so you can, plug and play and just really grasp, the structure, the things that you could insert about yourself in there. This is just helping you get to the point where you're drafting something. Sometimes it's hard with classes going on. One thing that I recognize about my grad app, I didn't really become dedicated to it until I was like a month before the application was about to close. And then I was like, where am I moving? Where am I going? Like, what am I going to do next? Like, man, I haven't even applied for jobs. Like, and here I am about to get my bachelor's degree. So I scrambled at the last minute, but luckily I had already written my biography. Luckily, I had already written a lot of different things throughout my journey. And that's the beauty of going through classes. They're constantly having us write stuff. So I was able to take some of that stuff and craft it, but I'm giving you guys something just so if it comes to that moment where you're not really aware and your conscious is stuck with your classes and what's in front of you right now, and you're not thinking about after you graduate, you're not thinking there yet, This is something you guys can lean into if you get to that last minute and need to just get something like together for your graduate app. Cool? All right, is any questions? So that's the personal statement. I'm excited for you guys to apply. Graduate school, we need you guys. And so I'm encouraging everyone to apply to grad school. We need PhD students. We need more PhD candidates. We need you guys. And so however I can assist you in this endeavor, if you guys want to put together a personal statement in the next, few weeks, if you have the capacity to do that, and you would like me to revise and put some suggested edits into it, please email me, reach out to me. I'm available to you guys, and I'm super proud of you all taking this next step and applying for the grad school. It's definitely a journey, but we need more researchers. Cool. Solid. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you all. Let me see, is there any questions on here? Yeah, I'll upload the template to everyone, definitely. All right, everyone, that's our workshop for today. All right, take care, everyone. Thank you for joining.
I have one more thing to say.
What's that?
Hi, my name is Esmeralda. I'm part of LSPA, Latinx Student Psychological Association. And during week 9, I'll be leading a meeting on personal statements. And I came to your workshop to learn more about it. And
Okay.
I'm really inspired by what you've said, and I would really love to extend an invitation to invite you to our Q&A for the workshop that I'll be helping lead. I was wondering if you would be interested. It would be on May 4th from 6 to 8. And I'll send you an email, but
Yeah, please do. Yeah, send me an email. I'll definitely show up. Yeah, that'd be cool.
okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for doing that too. Thank you for setting that up. Awesome. Is there any more questions or anything? And here goes my contact information too. All right, everyone. Have a good one.
I just made it.
Did you? Yeah, we just finished up.
Put my name.